he's getting it now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Heavy Metal Customs. Today, we're back on the 1970 Cougar project. For those of y'all that seen the last video, you know where we're at. For those of y'all who did not, well, you need to go back and watch the last video, and then watch this one. You gotta catch up, you know. But, we're starting where we left off from last time, and, yep, piece of welding wire, aggravating me. We're going to still be working on our frame that we made here, and we got to get this crossbar in there, this support. We have to get the transmission cross member in, and then work on the back here. Let me grab the camera and show y'all what I'm talking about. All right, get under the car here. Don't hit my head. Okay, see this bar right here? It's the same tubing that I used here to make frame connectors. Well, what we're going to do is run as a bar here, just like this here, and tie these two together. It will help stiffen up the chassis, and this is right where the back seat bolts in. That's where a lot of pressure gets on the floor pan, and a lot of times floor pans will have been known to crack. But this will also help with that situation and give it more support. As you see, we have the transmission cross member up there. We still got to do a lot of cleaning and prep work on it. And once we get them two done, I do believe we're going to finish this up here. Yeah, there's just more rust to cut out of these wheel wells and conform them to that floor pan that I put in. I don't think it's going to be super terrible, but it's not going to be like super easy neither. Do some creative metal work to get that done. But first things first, I want to get this crossbar in here. What I did, I measured my length, got my center, and then I measured 2 inches, 2 inches. That'll be right here. So we're going to take it over to the bender and start bending it, try to conform it to this floor. Alright, for those of y'all who don't know, I bend square tubing with round dies. Yeah, it works. I'm able to get away with it. Matter of fact, I forgot that this was 1 3/4 wide, and I grabbed my 1.5 die. Go ahead and swap that out. I believe I got 1 3/4. At least I thought I did. Yeah. Hardly ever used. I'll use 1 3/4 dies when I bend it like a roll bar too. Crank her up today. Let's see what we can do. The line dead center. There we go. I'm going to start 20/20. 20 in that first one. Go ahead and put 20 in the second one. I can tell by looking at it, it's going to need a lot more than that. Take that to 30. Take that to 30. I know it's going to need more, but I'm going to run over and check it and just see how much more it needs. Alright, we ended up putting 70 degrees in each one of them. Now you see what I'm up to and that fit that I'm after. I want it to sit up in there really snug. Now I'm going to come in here with my marker and mark each side and get these two bends here, and we'll see how that turns out. And there we go. Once I come down here, guys, I did a 40, 40, 10, and 10 to get that to sit up in there the way I want it. I like it. It hugs the floor really well. There's just enough on there to get a good weld. Yeah, that was hard to get into place. Required that big red hammer. But I made it happen. And I went ahead while it was down and maybe some block offs for the ends and sealed them up. So let me get that welded in there. Yes, it is straight. I measured from the front up here to here, 32 and a half on both sides. So yeah, let me burn that in, and then we'll move on to the next thing. All right, that's welded in very well. And I did come across here and weld that as well, so it's not going nowhere. Yeah, that is a lot of good support. And now transmission cross member, the same thing. Of course, it's supporting the transmission, but the side to side it helps support. But this bar, it does help, and it helps where the seat sits as well. Now, transmission cross member. Yeah, I've been putting this off. Because this thing is filthy, as you can see. And I still got to take all the old floorboard off of it. So, me and the air chiseler are fixing to have it out. And see if we can get all of this old floorboard off. And then get this thing cleaned up and ready to install. Well, I'm getting it. There's a lot to clean up. Got that metal cut off of there from the old floor pan. And I'm working on underneath. I've been using the drum sander there, and it's working out pretty good. Still got to get more on that. But I got all of this done, and I got some good primer laid on there. So that's a good thing. End of the day, that's why I went ahead and shot some primer on that, so it can dry. And then I'll come out here in the morning and get that top good and clean, and we'll get some primer on it. Then we'll get it all lined up and get it in the vehicle. Weld her up. All right. Came out here this morning, got that cross member all cleaned up, and I do believe it is ready. I have measured 20 times to make sure it's in the proper place, and I like it. So let's get it all welded in, and that's going to be a lot of welding. Besides welding it all here, I have to do some stitch welds all the way up through here on the back and the front as well. So might as well get to it and get it all burned in there. Well then, we got that knocked out. You get all that welded in there really nice. For the gaps, I just cut 4 pieces of good looking angle iron and put in there. That way I get a really good weld on it. Got all my welds around the floor pan, and everything met up really fine. Yeah, like I say, once I get through with all this grinding, I can run me some seam sealer around everything, make it look nice. Then get some epoxy sealer on it. But yeah, that's knocked out. So what I'm working on now to get this to a good point is get all this rust cut out here and rebuild these fender wells and make them where they meet the floor pan on the inside. So let me get to work on that. As you see, I've already started. Just get the air chisel out, knock some of that stuff off there on both sides, and we'll see what we got to work with. Alright guys, we got them made. I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah, I've done most of my welding on the inside. That way it looks better here on the outside. I can grind a few welds I put out here. And I got this done on both sides. Now, what we need to do is go inside and make us a floor plate to make all of that meet and be even. So let's get to it. Alright, we're going to start on the passenger side first. So what I do, I grab my piece of cardboard. I cut this one 7 by 7 inches and roughly got my corner cut out there. So now we're going to take it over and excuse me, transfer this to a piece of metal. and get it cut out, and I'll show you how we'll form it in there. Alright, so I take my cardboard template, and I'm going to place it on the edge like so. Then our favorite friend, the Sharpie. Alright, I already got my piece of metal clamped down. Now let's grab the death wheel here. Why does the cord get so tangled up on the death wheel? Somebody tell me that. Yeah, that's some BS. Plug that. There you go. Alright, we'll get this cut out. Close enough, right? Alright, let me put this stuff up, then we'll go over to the grinder and get this here cleaned up. Alright, we'll try to get that a little bit cleaner. We'll use grinder wheel. Guys, do not go across like this. Seems like every time I do that, man, it grabs it and just slams it down. I do like this. And I don't have no trouble. Not too bad. Get the edges cleaned up. Alright, that ain't looking too terrible. Let's go over here and just do a test fit and see what we think. Alright, I did have to grind more radius into that. Get up over that. Go up there. Alright, looking pretty good. Now what we need is a line. Goes like that. Now do y'all see why I'm putting that line there? Because we do have a pin down there. So let's get that bit down there. And yeah, it's hard for me to do this and hold the camera at the same time. Y'all can get a view of what I'm doing. But once I bend that down, I need a mark to bend it back up. And it looks to be about right there. Alright, let's get this. Now we'll just use a brake to get them. We'll just guesstimate the bend, I reckon. Maybe? Let's go see. Yeah, that fits in there really well. I'm not mad about that. Now what we're going to do is come down here, flatten this out. We'll take a little bit of that out, but we can do some hammer tapping. But we need to get this flat across here. So I'm just going to take it over there and put it on a piece of metal and take the hammer and just run across here, bam, 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 and get that all flat. Got this piece of, looked like a piece of railroad track to me, but anyway, Hootie Hoo got this for me, brought it in here, and it seems to work perfect doing stuff like this. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, pretty flat. Let's take it over to the floor. See how it fits now. Well, it's fitting sort of maybe decent. But this whole piece has a pitch to it like this here, and it really needs to go down a whole lot. I'm going to grab my dead blow hammer, see if I can make that happen without it messing up. Oh yeah. Now you see how they got that curvature in it? Yeah, sorry the camera's far away, guys, but it has to be for me to be in here and work and hit things with a hammer. I think that's going to work out pretty good. Let me clean up these edges a little bit and then we'll continue on. Alright guys, what I've done, put some welds up through here. That'll hold her all still. Now we've got to get this thing where it's going to sit down flat so we can get us some good welds. What works for me is these self-tapping sheet metal screws. Seem to do the trick. Let's see if we can do the magic and make that happen. Sometimes it's a pain, sometimes it goes easy. Yep, drew it right down there. Like I say, it works for me. I know that's up. We'll get that tapped in there, no stress. Let's get us another one right here on this corner. And you know the phone would ring. Yeah, it was a telemarketer automated call. Glad that the federal government outlawed that and I won't have to be fooled with it no more. I don't know about y'all's state, but here in Tennessee, they actually did say it was illegal to be doing all them mass callings like that. But guess what? The bad people don't pay attention to the law. That phone rings off the hook all day long. It's nothing but stupidity. Yeah. Yeah, this is beginning to be my favorite hammer. But I'm just going here in between. Tap, tap, tap. Look at that. That sit down on there just lovely. A little more right here maybe. Well, if you insist, I will get that. Alright, now, here my wire wheel, clean it up a little bit. I can go ahead and run a bead across this one, get it all welded in, and this side's taken care of. Except for underneath. We'll have to do a little bit of welding underneath as well. But we will get that. Let me go ahead and get this all stitched up with some good welds. And then we'll go underneath and get it finished. Alright. Got that all welded in there. Doesn't look bad at all. Fits the floor good. Remember, carpet's going to be over it. So, you know, we got some small spots that we're going to have to do a little bit more welding on here and there. I will get to that in like finished style work. But right now we're going to raise it up. And I'll show you why we're going to raise it up. And we've got to do just a little welding under there. Alright guys, what we got to do here is get that new floor pan. See, I know it's hard to see in here. Right here and right here and whatnot. I got to get that pushed up there a little bit. We'll take the hammer, do a little tappy-tappy, and just get some welds on that so we don't have no future problems. And that way no water stuff will get up in there and cause rust in the future. We will seam seal a lot of this, which I need to hurry up and order some seam sealer. But we will get that done. But that's what I'm fixing to do, get that stuff tapped up in there and get some welds on that. It will make our floor stronger back there. And like I say, no rattles and doing it right. Alright, I got some good welds on that there. Got some right. I know guys, it's hard to see it. But, take my word on it, I got some good welds in there. So that right there is done. So that completes this side. Like I say, except for, you know, grinding, seam sealer, stuff like that, a little tap. Maybe a little weld here and there. So off camera, I'm going to go ahead and knock this other side out. Alright. Got that one taken care of. Looks pretty much like this one. Yep, that'll work. Happy with that. Now I need a small square there. How did I miss that? Brain damage, I reckon. Okay, and I need to fix these. See where somebody riveted that? Yeah, little pop rivet things. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of them pop rivets and get that welded good. And go ahead and make this square right quick. After that, I'm ready to clean this thing out. And I've got like a tube and a half maybe of some white seam sealer. I just ordered 4 tubes of black. Which it really doesn't matter. It's going to get epoxy spray over it anyway. But yeah, I'm about ready. I get that doctored up and yeah, clean it out a little bit and start squirting some seam sealer. And that's taken care of. Got the rivets out of that stuff, got some good weld in there. Yeah, I had a hole right there. So I had to take that top piece of rubber off where you normally get the shock so I could get in there and hold a piece of metal in there and get it welded. Get that straightened up, done right. And we got a little square right there. Alright, good deal guys. Alright, I'm fixing to break for lunch, then I'm going to come out, take the air hose and blow all this out, and start running me some seam sealer. Alright, now that I got the seam sealer ran, done pretty good with what I had. I still lack some underneath, but that's okay. I got all of this in here done yesterday, and so it'll sit here and dry it overnight. Now, the goal is to get this thing in the epoxy sealer. But what I need to do is go through here and take my wire wheel, get some of that crap off of there, take the DA and some 80 and hit the firewall in places such as that. I want to come up in here. What I like to do is get that all sanded well where it will hold that sealer good and get all the trash, of course, off of it. And then we'll give her a quick wash and let it dry. But yeah, let's start with that. Like I say, guys, when you got stuff like this old insulation stuff up here, this kind of wire brush does a good job. Better when you can hold it with two hands. But that'll get all that crap off of there. Then, like I say, the rest of it, I'll just grab the DA with some 80 and hit it. So, let's get after it. Got her all cleaned up. Yeah, run over it with some 80 and the wire brush. And then just basic soap and water. Yeah, dishwasher liquid, that's what they use for everything. And give her a good washing and a good rinse. Hopefully a fan will help dry this thing out. I'm fixing to go to break. When I come back, I'm going to raise it up. Now underneath, I'm just going to wipe down by hand. I don't feel like getting soaking wet today, but I got enough stuff to spray on there. Awesome orange. And then chase it with some Windex. Yeah. And that'll take care of it underneath. And it'll dry pretty good. Hopefully, this dries out and everything looks great. And we shoot some sealer today. Well, we got everything clean and dry. Yeah, that's a good thing, ain't it? So, I already have some epoxy sealer mixed up. So let's get this thing sprayed. I think about 2 coats should do it. We'll see what it looks like. But I think 2 will be good in here and underneath. Couple of coats of that epoxy sealer. Yeah, that's just all good stuff right there. And I got it underneath. Oh, can I bend down? Yeah, I didn't forget them in there. Oh, bending down bites. But I got it underneath, as you can see. Yeah. So, 2 coats of that epoxy sealer will do the job. And that'll help protect this thing. Because it's going to be sitting outside for a little while. My goal was trying to get at a point where I can stomp on this and it'll be safe to push outside. And I think this is a good point. We got a lot done. Basically all the framework and the floor pan and all the pieces and all of that stuff is accomplished. It was a lot of work, but hey, we knocked her out and I'm very happy with it. Well, alright. I got the tires put back on it, all the jacks moved, all the little parts taken off and put up on the shelf. This thing is pretty much ready to go outside and take a break. Like I was saying, I've got a big project that I want to get to and get done. This is for myself. Be looking out for that upcoming video. Actually, it's going to be probably a lot of videos. This is a big job. But it's something I've been wanting to do, something I need to do. So keep an eye out for it. As far as the Cougar goes, it's not going nowhere. It's just going outside for a little bit. I busted my butt here for several weeks and got this thing actually over caught up on the work that I should be doing to it so that I'll have this time. Now, getting all this floor done, the frame connectors done, and front frame rails, all of that was a big job, and I'm glad that it turned out as good as it did. I am real happy with it. I mean, y'all comment and tell me what you think. But as far as this episode goes, that's going to wrap her up. We're at a good point. I'll let it sit here overnight, and like I say, let that epoxy sealer dry really well, and then stick her outside tomorrow and get on the next project. In the meantime, I sure do appreciate you watching the video. Hope you're enjoying all the Cougar stuff and all the other videos as well. If you would, throw us down some comments. If you're able, hit us up on Patreon and or that super thing. Much appreciated. And please like, share, and subscribe. Again, we appreciate it much. Till the next one, we hope that everyone has a fantastic day.